Welcome to Stahahe Regional Nature Museum 2017. My name is Dana Ansons. I'm the co-director here along with Kevin Mosca, and I'll be giving you a look around the museum to see how we kind of set up everything and what kind of animals we were able to collect this season. So first thing you see when you walk in is a guest book. We have the camps sign in every single time they come visit. The first exhibit we kind of have here is our touch tank, so the kids aren't allowed to touch any of the animals. So in lieu of that, we have them touch these bones, feathers, snake skins, which they really like and they're kind of really amazed with. Here we have our small fish that we use to feed off. We only have a couple left because it's the end of the season. In this tank we have our creek chub. They're really cool. We found them at the end of Wabanaki. There's a little creek down there. It's a good place to find them, along with a water snake. Here is our tadpole exhibit. There's only a couple tree frog tadpoles left and they're really small. We had bullfrog tadpoles, but we either fed them off or they transformed. Over here is our green frog exhibit. There's 4 in here. There's a couple hiding out on the rocks and moss over here. They're cool. The kids really like frogs, so that's a good exhibit for them. Here we have our water world, which is a place where we house some mussels, freshwater mussels, a snail. There's a couple small fish in here. The kids really like it because we allow them to look at the mussels, which is something they've kind of never seen before. We just house our mealworms in here and our earthworms in that cabinet. Over here we have our bluegill sunfish, which are super abundant in Lake Stahahe. We were able to catch them through the bait trap or just going fishing. They are actually the only species we caught in Lake Stahahe, so that's kind of interesting. Over here is a really interesting find for the season. We found over 10 baby tree frogs down at the creek. We gave some away to other museums, but we still have about 6 or 7. And we have our adult tree frog, who's super cool. Kevin and I both really like him, and he's cool to see on the glass for the kids with his suction cup toes. They really like that. Over here we have some adult pickerel frogs. We have 3. You can see a couple hanging out right there. Moving on, that's a broken tank, but here is our turtle. It's big old Betsy. She's a red-eared slider, and you might be thinking, why is she in a kiddie pool? Well, we had a problem with losing turtles this season where we would come in after a day and our turtles in the turtle pit outside would be gone. So we were suspecting that someone was releasing them because we couldn't find any carcasses. There was no signs of a predator. So we think that people were releasing them. We actually lost 3 cool painted turtles and 1 musk turtle. So we have been housing our turtles indoors at night ever since. Moving on, over here we have our baby bullfrog. He's really tiny because he's one of the tadpoles that actually transformed. And in this tank we have 3 tiny little wood frogs. This is our water snake exhibit, which is currently empty because, as I said, it's the end of the season and we're cleaning up. Here we had our black rat snake exhibit. These are more bluegill sunfish. A pretty big guy right there. He's the biggest that I've ever seen in the wild. Moving on, here is our last snake we have for the season. She's our garter snake, and she came in with some injuries. We actually have to give her to the zoo at the end of the season because she is presenting with some behavior typical with a brain injury. So she's been holding out. She's been with us all season actually since June, and she shed while she was here, which was pretty cool. This was another fish tank we had, our milk snake tank, and here we have 4 more green frogs. These guys are actually bigger than the ones I showed you earlier. He's pretty big. There's a little guy under there. This was another black rat snake exhibit. And then finally we have my pride and joy of the season, the American toad, because I love her. She is just such a character. She chirps all the time. She loves to be hiding out in between the glass and the moss, and she's a really cool little toad. So that's pretty much the whole museum. I'll give you one more look around. Again, it's kind of messy because it's the end of the season, but I hope you kind of got some inspiration for setup or how to house your animals, anything like that. So good luck 2018.